Greeting my friends, my family. I hope you guys are doing great out there. It is the 7th on a Wednesday. Life is beautiful. Things are changing in the wind. We have, Binance and, is getting sued. Coinbase is getting sued. What is going on in the financial markets right now? If you guys want some news, come to my channel, litecoinlawton.com. You can check out all the news here. I have tickers down at the bottom. You can look up, other trending videos. You can look up, you can specify into your coin exactly. I'll go to Litecoin just for an example. But I think that, it's a great tool, you guys, to sort your news. I would, encourage you to learn the charts before you got involved in the news. I went the exact same, I was a news guy for the longest time, chasing coins, trying to figure out why I was always seemed to be late until I learned the charts, you guys, and the charts will give us the answers. Okay. The yield curve is still horrible. We're early in this adoption, curve, you guys. I love the banks, and why do they have branches, you guys? Why do they have branches? Okay. And the central banks, you guys read this. This is like crazy, right? This is totally true. 101 right here. First, we persuade them that paper has value, and then we'll convince them that there's not enough paper. They'll forget that real meaning of life and work as slaves for paper, always in debt from cradle to grave. Brilliant. How does crypto actually work? You guys, if you're a newbie in the market and you've only had to deal with like 2022, or you guys bought the last top, traditionally you've only had to wait 3 years to get back into the positive, on Bitcoin. So even if you break, I'll go to Bitcoin real quick on the daily. Okay. Even if you guys, come on, load here. What's going on? Okay. Even if you guys buy these tops, okay. You literally only had to wait 3 years to start making money to get back in the positive. Okay. That's pretty epic. That is still holds true to this day. So the point of this video and the point of this channel, and I started making videos in the bear market, which is ridiculous because everybody's pessimistic and Bitcoin's going to zero and it's going to the grave again, right? I actually love that talk when people are saying that Bitcoin's dead. I love starting to accumulate, or at least dollar cost average, and I'm starting to heavily accumulate at these areas. Okay. Because the narrative shifts, you guys, and when it's out of favor, you want to be accumulating it, whatever it is. And people aren't talking about, silver so much right now. And Bitcoin and cryptos and stuff are getting just, the FUD century right now. Okay. So I think, what do I think is actually going on? We can zoom in here, you guys. I think we're in this, we're in this macro falling wedge, descending wedge. Okay. And I don't really know. I told you guys this before. This red line right here is speculative. I kind of lined it up with the Fibonacci, but I don't really know. At some point, it could be right now. Bitcoin's going to bump its head on it. Okay. And we're going to establish this line. So, I mean, I guess for giggles, we could do this for right now. Because we could be like right here, you guys. 30,000 is one of those levels that it seemed like once we break it, it's been really like we've had a lot of movement, sideways movement within like $5,000. Okay. So the Bollinger Bands are getting really tight. Things are getting pretty juicy. Like, I think we're getting this last shakeout. And if, the SEC and, if the bears can't push us down, you guys, right now, if we can't go to like 15, 20,000, if that narrative is going to hold true, it's going to be now. Okay. Because this is probably the last of the old system fighting right now. Okay. And this is the fight. We're seeing the war right now. We know what's going to win. It obviously they can't stop it. They can just start pinching the choke points. Okay. Choke point 2.0 or whatever they're talking about, you guys, and that's what's going on. And they can try to censor your on and off ramps. Okay. But that's only going to stifle innovation, at least like in America, because other countries you can buy crypto, they're crypto friendly. So hopefully the US doesn't do something crazy like that. I have heard that they're starting to get some clarity with Coinbase and Binance. I think we're going to finally get some clarity, you guys, on on what is a security, what is a commodity. And I think that's like a great, that's the basic blueprint. Okay. Whether or not I agree with their definitions is another thing. We can get into a whole thing because I don't know if the list is finally out, but I know Bitcoin, Litecoin, and it looks like ETH are going to be registered as commodities. And then other coins are going to be registered as securities, but I don't know how they're really going about that because I would expect ETH to not be definitely be a security and not be a commodity now. But that's the only one I'm not so sure of, because why would they list a bunch of ETH, ICOs or derivatives, right? That are on that security list. So it seems like a little bit. I still think they're going to have some ironing out of the actual list of what is a security and commodity still, but at least we're getting the initial framework. But it looks like Bitcoin and Litecoin are making at least the cut onto the commodity side. So it's probably a safe place to put your money right now, you guys. Are we at a bottom? So let's do some technicals here. We are on the daily. We have some pretty bullish divergence going. Okay. And we haven't seen this in actually a while here on the cipher. So that is giving me some hope that we at least have this is ETH, you guys. ETH is kind of showing, still getting a little bit of bearish divergences going on the cipher. But I did want to show you guys Litecoin to Bitcoin chart. So this is the Litecoin Bitcoin pairing, okay? And I want to zoom out here for you. And the reason I think that Litecoin is probably a better place to put your money at this point. I like to shift between, we can play ratios, but this particular ratio, if this is going up, this is basically meaning that Litecoin is gaining ground on Bitcoin's value, okay, becoming worth more of a Bitcoin. And then if it goes down, it's being worth less of a Bitcoin, okay? And Charlie Lee touched base on this. You go, what's up, Charlie? If you're out there, thanks for inventing Litecoin and privacy and this beautiful altruistic thing that you did out there. Thank you. And then, but look at this breakout target. Okay, the breakout target here is basically 1.5% of a Bitcoin, 2% of a Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up to 100,000, that could be easily a $2,000 Litecoin. Okay, and I think I said in my last video, I'm trying to get some hits, you guys, and working on the YouTube on the thumbnails and stuff. So, I do need subscribe to my channel. This is not financial advice in this channel, but I'm just doing this in the name of decentralization for my people out there, for my crypto family, okay, to learn the charts, okay. But we just basically had this perfect back test, okay, and this W pattern, right, on this. And I would not expect, if this thing actually breaks this 002 level, I'd be very surprised. So I think that we're going to start seeing a breakout, at least of Litecoin in relationships to Bitcoin right now. Okay. I think that as coming into this halving, I think that's going to be a strong thing. We might have a little bit of a pullback, in the halving, and this could not look as crazy. We could have a little bit longer and then have it pump because the halving, and there's usually a dump after the halving, but there's usually always a run up. Okay. Before the halving, I would, and it's coming up in August. Okay. So I would expect the next couple months for Litecoin at least to be very pumpy. And we are in a bull market. Okay, you guys, we're in a bull market, and I can show you that we're above the 200 EMA. Okay, we're technically holding it right now, and it's kind of just bouncing off of it, which is great. Okay, and so we're basically, I can zoom in here. It's that white line. Okay, and Litecoin's forming this triangle pattern right here, this very symmetrical triangle. And we've had this test now on either side, but we haven't had a breakout yet. And these are my trade ideas. Okay. So I think I'm leaning towards a bullish breakout. Okay, you guys. And if it doesn't happen, I think it's going to happen. It looks like around, June or the 21st of this month. Okay. I would say by latest like the 30th, and by maybe possibly even by the second week. Okay. On the 14th. Okay. Between the 14th and the 30th, there's going to be a breakout of Litecoin in either direction. I would be very surprised if it actually breaks down here. This would probably coincide with some sort of other black swan event we could break down. But right now, coming out of this into this uptrend, okay, we're more likely to break up towards this. And with the halving coming up, I think that we're much likelier to break up here, you guys. And I think that target is around, like, I would start taking profit around like 140 to around 155. Okay. And be, and we'll see what happens at that point in time. We might just keep on going. It's possible that we break this trend line right here. Okay. We break this thing. So, and this is actually only has 2 points too of touch. So this top line is kind of speculative as well. So I will say that there we could have another touch, and I'm expecting at least a third touch, and then kind of a dump into the halving, and maybe one final shakeout. And then I think it might look like, you guys, I drew this thing because I think it might do something like this next time. I have a feeling it's going to be more like this instead of like, even this is pretty crazy. Okay. But I think it's going to be more like this, dude. Like there's just going to be this like next level up. Okay. There's going to be like, okay, everybody's in now, or like, we haven't even seen the big money yet come in, you guys. It's $1 trillion market cap, like the whole market cap. Okay. And there's players out there that could triple the market overnight. Okay. Just themselves. And you have to believe that. Okay. These hedge funds and some of these guys, they're looking for a way in, you guys. And if they can do it, it's going to be crazy. And they open an ETF soon in Hong Kong, which they're talking about. We've been hearing about the ETFs for a long time, but we'll see when it finally happens. It's inevitable. It's eventually going to happen. So they can keep trying to hold back innovation, or they can figure out how to tax it, and do it in an appropriate way. This is our emerging asset class of our generation, you guys, and you got to be stoked to be here. ETH, let's see what ETH is doing here. ETH, we're still breaking out. Like, I mean, these breakout targets, Bitcoin looks really similar. We're in these like descending wedge, and we're breaking out. And I do have a target up here of like $3,400. So whether or not that gets hit, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to actually get hit. It might be a little bit lower. It could be like that 3,000 level. If you take it like from the breakout, then it's like 34. So we'll see about that. I do think there's going to be another leg up for ETH. Okay. And we are still above, you guys, this 200-day EMA. So as soon as we cross this is basically a bull market now. Okay. We back test it. And now, I mean, we could even come down to this like 1600 and still be in a bull market, and then bounce off that like a big dog. Okay. And that would be totally fine. That would be totally fine. That's a healthy, actual, normal run. Okay. A normal bull cycle. Okay. And so this is just the beginning of this. And I don't think we're just going to have this like 2-month bull cycle. Okay. I think we're going to have like, a pretty substantial one. Okay. I think it might be a little too early to say. There's all these black swan events I'm thinking about, but if in a perfect world and we got peace and we got some things that happen in the globe, then I think that it's possible that we just have this like 2-year, slow bull run, you guys, and it could just be like this massive thing that starts happening, and it could be very hated because I guess retail is tapped out. And then they're going to have to start lowering rates, you guys. But I do still think that there's going to be this leg down in the stock market. Like this yield curve's got me really worried, you guys. This is like 100% of the time indicator. Okay. And it usually even pumps up to it, just like suckers everybody in, takes everybody in, and then just like dumps it. And it's going to be like, 10 years possibly for us to reach these all-time highs again. And that's the thing that I really have a hard time with. Like that's what big money is going to have a really hard time with. Okay. As soon as they realize that they're not going to make any money, or at least are not in a position where they have to wait for another 10 years. Like, what about people that are elderly? What about, all these people that are expecting gains to live off of, right? And so anyways, you guys, things are great. I do have, there is an optimistic point out there. I think that it is possible that we have this like blow off top. Okay. And I just want to draw it again for you guys. We could have this, there is a possibility that this thing like goes up here And then we finally have this like capitulatory dump right now. Okay. It's either we're in it right now and this thing's going to break down soon. Okay. It's either going to do something like one of these two things. Okay. And I don't want to be pessimistic with the stock market, but this is just what bonds and the inverted yield curve are suggesting. And it basically happens every time. And commercial real estate is looking horrible. Okay, you guys. I have no idea what they're going to do with the commercial real estate. That's like a big black, it's the elephant in the room right now in the banking industry. With people not buying houses is one thing, but the actual commercial real estate market that they are leveraged into is looking pretty abysmal, you guys. And it's like a $40 trillion market. So we'll see where that money goes. A lot of banks are upside down and insolvent right now. Be safe, you guys. I need you to protect yourself. Have physical assets in your own possession. Have cryptos in your own possession. Try not to keep that much on exchanges unless you're constantly trading. And if you're trading, then you got to trade. But that's I keep very little on exchanges to trade, and then everything else, you gotta keep safe. So, anyways, you guys, this has gone on long enough. Salutes. Take care. Litecoin Lawton out.